We all feel compelled by the calling, the invitation to charge into the hard places in this world and undo the vulnerabilities that exist there, to redeem the unredeemed spaces. We know we are called to live on mission. And we sense the responsibility to mature and disciple our people to become people that live like Jesus, holy lives in the spaces in which they find themselves in their everyday. And I think often we feel the tension when we engage in mission to be helpful, that mission brings about the hard we've heard about, and it disrupts this space of discipleship, of safety for our people, and it becomes complicated. And then we enter into the instructive letter of the book of James, where he seems to bring these two things together and integrate them as though they are inseparable. He says the way this calling looks in everyday life is to find the vulnerable among you, in his case the orphans and widows, in our case those and a broader sense of that, and to engage in undoing that vulnerability, and to live and do that in a way that remains unstained from the philosophies and realities of your culture or this world. We are to be holy in the midst of being helpful. And James, I think, clarifies this in the early part of his letter, where he says, consider it joy when you face trials of many kinds, which mission can often affect and always does, because in those trials, that difficulty, that hard, there, your faith is refined, and you are developed into a greater sense of perseverance, which leads to what? Maturity and completeness, not lacking anything. We have found that the integration of being helpful, living on mission, and being holy, living in intimacy with God through the process of discipleship, is actually an integrative singularity in which we want to live. This is where the Pure Religion Project comes in. How do we make sure the heart of mission actually helps in the growth and maturity of our people instead of undoing them? What does it look like to get started? What does it look like to sustain? We want to continue to have this conversation together. We want to learn from one another so that the kingdom of God, his light, life, and freedom might integrate into those vulnerable spaces and bring about the life that he has called us to participate in bringing about with him. This is the Pure Religion Project.